Hey everybody, we're going to plant some blueberries today, and I wanted to share with you some of the stuff I've known and some of the stuff that I've learned along the way this year in particular. And what we're going to do is I have a couple of buckets. I like to plant in buckets, can you tell? Blueberries like to be in a container. They prefer to be in a container where it's a little bit more controlled, where they're just in the environment that they like. They also like to be in a soil that's a little bit different than the garden soil, the regular garden soil. They like to be in soil that has a little bit more acid to it. And it's got a little bit of a different texture, a little bit of a different smell, but that's what they like. If we have enough for these two containers, then that will be great. And if not, then I'm going to mix some of our 420 in there, which will also be totally good for a good mixture. So what I'm going to do now that we have the buckets filled, I got two different blueberry bushes. They like to be planted near each other in at least pairs, so they can pollinate, cross-pollinate, and help each other out. That's why we do two. I got one that is an early season bearer and one that's a mid-season bearer, so that I can extend the season as long as possible. So what I'm going to do is, and I always when I'm choosing something, I always look at the branch configuration to see, kind of envision what the shape's going to be, and I want it to kind of go a little bit wide. So I got something that has a few different branches jutting out like that. What we're going to do then is we're going to notice then that this has been in here for a little while, so I'm going to pull apart, gently pull apart with my fingertips, the roots on the bottom and also on the sides, just gently a little bit, so that they're just, they are, allow them to spread out and move a little bit. Now, I know that when I'm planting in a tub like this, I want it to, this is the front, so I want it to go like this, and you can kind of see how it's going to grow like that. Now at this point, I know that I don't quite have enough soil, so I'm going to mix in some of the 420 on top and then mix it down, and it'll all kind of digest together along the way. And you can see that I'm pretty used to being dirty, so your tolerance is your tolerance. I know that I'm going to need to shower at the end of the day, no matter how you slice it. Push it in, kind of mix it up a little bit. But I know that the acid soil on the bottom is where the roots are. And then as some of this soil breaks down over time, I'll just continue to add some of the acid soil on top. This is my dog. So now you've met my cat and my dog. Same thing, this one's not as root bound, but I am going to break up the roots just gently. I'm going to point it toward the front, which is toward you. Now, before we started, I did drill some drainage holes in the bottom. I used to like to put gravel on the bottom of my buckets as a drainage source. I still do sometimes, and sometimes I don't. Oh look, the cat must be out because the dogs are chasing. So as I prepare this, I make decisions, and my decision today was not to use any drainage gravel at the bottom or anything like that. Now what I'm going to do is I have a couple of berry vines, blackberry vines, that are also in tubs. I'm going to put one of each of these next to one of each of those berry vines, so that I've got a couple of berry stations. They're close enough in proximity that when the bees come to pollinate, that they will be able to kind of mix it all up between everything. And that is the berry planting lesson. I'm going to tie these into my drip line, my drip system, which we'll get into way down the road. And in the meantime, if you don't have a drip system, obviously hand water. And that's what we're doing today. Thank you.